Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more comparing the My Hero Academia anime to chapters that it correlates to in the manga. I did all my explanations that I needed to do for the series in the last episode, so go check that out at the very beginning. But I have a few modifications to make. You guys provided some wonderful feedback. By the way, I think a lot of you guys really did enjoy the series, so thank you so much for watching. Changes that I'll be making in this video. First of all, this video is going to be hopefully a lot shorter. Last one clocked in around 30 minutes. The way I'm going to make it shorter is, last time it was a lot of me just saying this scene is exactly the same, this scene is exactly the same. Now I don't know if that episode was just an anomaly and it just happened to be so one-to-one as the manga, but regardless, I'm not just going to go scene to scene and say this is the exact same, this is the exact same. From here on out, I'm going to focus just on mainly two things. One, significant changes, like the anime really changes a scene from the manga, or whether that, like, they just change it or they add a lot to it. In this case, with this fight, I assume we're going to be seeing a lot of changes. Or two, any noticeable exclusions that they left out from the manga, like if they didn't bring it to the anime form. So hopefully this will kind of streamline things a little bit, and hopefully it'll be a less monotony with me saying, oh, this is the exact same, exact same. So let's see how this goes. So if you see any cuts, that's just me moving along, making sure everything isn't, like, making sure whatever stands out is noted. So let's begin. Okay, so here we have our first noticeable thing. In the anime, we cut straight to Shinzo explaining his quirk in front of the little Nezu cage here, along with his teammates. In the manga, there is one thing that was kind of left out, but not to any significant degree. It's them walking into the arena, getting ready for their fight. But they're walking to the cage. So it's literally just cut the scene where they're walking to the cage. But the same conversation takes place. Okay, much like I thought would happen, as the fighting begins, we actually do get some changes. Now, a lot of the stuff is going to be kind of nitpicky, but that's just sort of the point, just comparing them. I'm not saying one's better or the other. To clarify, this is just differences between the two. So here in the anime, Beastman, I'm just gonna call him Beastman. I'm not gonna remember all one B's names perfectly, so I apologize. Beastman grabs Kaminari, and Kaminari shocks him. Now in the manga, Beastman actually just straight up swipes at Kaminari and knocks him away. And then when he makes contact with the swipe, that's when he gets shocked. He doesn't grab him and then Kaminari shocks him, and they don't have that exchange. He just gets knocked right into the pipes, as we see here in a second, and then this is essentially the shot we get in the manga, where it's just him getting shocked from hitting him, but he never grabs him in the manga. So another noticeable difference, we get some great shots in this entire episode with the students doing their different combat and different abilities and whatnot. Here's one such shot. I can't show it in motion because I just gotta be careful about copyright and stuff. This is an analytical video. We get the shot of Sue, literally a kind of a pan behind her as she's dragging the students with her tongue. In the manga, we don't get that fluidity. You don't get the camera pan around the character as they do such things. It straight up just shows Sue carrying him in her tongue. So that's the kind of stuff I expected to see completely different in the anime, and it's a cool thing to see. So it's worth noting. All right, another interesting moment. I actually didn't even expect this to be different, but in the manga, we don't cut back to the people watching on the televisions. Here we actually get some original anime-only input from the people watching. They're just describing how powerful Beastman is. We get some input from Uraraka and Deku, the reactions. We actually don't get that in the manga. Not only that, but this scene right here with Kirishima waking up from his throw against the pipes, we don't get that in the manga either. Fascinating, actually. Let me just confirm, make sure. Yeah, we don't get, yeah. What do you know? We actually don't get, at least in this chapter. It might have happened last chapter and I just didn't notice it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure him waking up from getting thrown into the pipes is also original to the, yeah. Okay, here we have a scene just after Kirishima gets thrown right into Ibarra's trap. We actually get a reaction from Uraraka and the others saying, oh, Kirishima's been caught. In the manga, no such thing. We don't get a pan back to the people watching and seeing their reactions, so that's pretty cool. And then we get the graphic, obviously, with them showing like one of them getting caught and stuff. We get more of the reactions of the students. Again, none of this is in this chapter. Now, this might be something that's coming later in the chapter, but as far as I can tell, yeah, that stuff wasn't at least in the same spot, so I don't think it's in that chapter at all. Alright, yet another change that's original to the anime. In the manga, we do see Beastman using his nose to sniff out his opponents, but we get a visual that is unique to the anime. This sort of sonar look showing Kaminari and Sue leading up to their combo attack, which is in fact in the manga. But throughout this episode, you'll see that kind of sonar effect. If this first instance is anything to go off of, this is an anime original effect, which is cool. I think it rocks personally. All right, I have a brief correction to make in regards to not this video, but my reaction to this episode that I have on my channel. By the way, if you haven't already, go check out my reactions. I do one to every episode. In my live reaction, I thought, or I said in the moment, that I'm pretty sure this was an anime original scene with him freaking out a bit about being grabbed by her tongue. It is in fact not. He does that in the manga. I just felt like throwing a correction in there because people in my comments did tell me that that was indeed in the manga, so it was. Something kind of noteworthy, right after Sue comes up with the plan of using her mucus or whatever to camouflage her scent, and we cut back to Ibara and the others of Class 1B. In the manga, it shows a shot of just all three of them talking, but in this one, they kind of introduce it by having Ibara kind of like a spotlight moment with her kind of talking, and visually it's different. It's the same idea of what's going on, but it's a little bit different. I like what they did here. I think it's totally anime to have like this scene where this character is like kicking themselves. So yeah, nice change. I just want to point out that this specific image is the exact way that chapter 196 ends, and I believe this is also where we're about to get our title card. The in between. Yep. Okay. So this is interesting. 2 episodes in a row now. Both times there's been a chapter ending. We get actually perfectly timed with the mid-episode transition. I don't know if that's going to be the case moving forward, because I think some chapters coming up in the manga are going to be a lot shorter, some are going to be a lot longer. So, but for now, it's a nice little coincidence that each half of the episode has ended with yeah, well, to be fair, both this chapter and the last chapter have been based off of 2 respective chapters of the manga each. I don't think that pace will continue. I think sometimes we'll get 3 chapters per an episode. Some chapters you might get 1 per episode. It kind of depends, but for these 2, that's been the case so far. I just kind of want to point this out. I know I said I wouldn't just go by scene and say like, oh, these are 1-to-1, because so far in this episode, most of them have been within like 90% the exact same. They've been doing a great job adapting the scenes. I just think this is hilarious. They actually kept this pan-up shot between both of them, like toxic mucus, and you get like Mineta acting like Mineta and being very aroused by the mucus. Like he has the exact same like eye veins as he has in the manga. I just think that's a nice attention to detail. Pretty funny. Okay, we have yet another anime original scene. This little cute animation with Hatsume explaining how Kaminari's pointer system works with the tracking and all that. While we do get sort of an explanation of how his equipment works from Sue and just Kaminari in general, in the anime they chose to have this fun sort of thing with Hatsume explaining it. So that's interesting addition. Something else kind of cool here. I actually didn't even pay attention to this either, like in the manga or what, but when I was watching the anime, I was like, wow, that's cool. They added this, like, her quirk's vine or whatever, and it shows, like, the vine wrapping around the word and whatnot. They actually have that in the manga, too, for all 3 of them that we see it from. So I just think that's really nice attention to detail, very faithful. Again, it's a very, very, like, this scene's exactly the same as the manga, but but I thought that was worth noting because that's an extreme awesome just attention to detail, and that's great if you ask me. And just to show you that they did it with Guvaudan, I think that's like how you pronounce his name, Gavaldon. I don't know how to pronounce his. And then we also get the same with Dragon Shroud. I assume that says Dragon Shroud. That's what the thing up here says. So, but yeah, they do it for all three of them. Very cool. All 1-to-1 from the manga. So, okay, interesting difference here. The scene, for all intents and purposes, is 1-to-1 to the manga. The only difference being, it's flipped. For whatever reason, the manga, Kaminari is coming in from the left. In the anime, he's coming in from the right. Same dialogue, everything goes on. It's just interesting. They just like flipped it. Yeah, nothing else to say there. Just a complete mirror flip of like he would normally be over here and she would normally be here. Yeah, just interesting to note. By the way, I just want to mention, this is like one of my favorite shots of the episode. I think her quirk is just so cool, personally, and this is a great shot of it. Beautiful animation. Interesting enough, everything after that one flipped image, everything else is exactly the same orientation. So, with Kaminari shouting and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to point out this is probably my favorite shot of the episode. And there's a lot of great shots in this episode. A lot of great fluid shots, so... Alright, another 1-to-1 shot. I just want to kind of put this out because it's, first of all, it's a badass shot, and I just want to say that they're doing a great job of every time a student has an iconic attack, it is so beautifully transitioned from the manga. Literally, it's like the same exact position of you're seeing the attack. Even right here, that thump you see in the background, the exact same thing you see in the manga. I just want to say that's a great attention to detail. Yeah, only difference is, like, I guess if we want to be really specific, like, the background's different in terms of, like, the building and, like, just minor things, like, in the manga, her feet are together, not apart like here, but that's just, like, that's stupid to, like, break it down that much. Both shots are great, and I just want to point that out. Another thing I want to point out, the scene where, Beastman, again, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna call him Beastman, it's just way easier for me to remember. When he's kind of plowing through these pipes to reach Shinzo, obviously, and this is something that, again, it's just so obvious they're gonna do something different for. We get this great camera shot going through all these pipes, and as him just smashing through them, we see him smashing through the pipes in the manga, but it's not in motion, obviously. It's just a wonderful sort of 3D pan through it all, and then as he reaches Shinzo. Alright, here we have actually a little bit more of an anime difference. In the manga, Beastman very much just keeps going straight, plowing his way to Shinzo. There's no pause, there's no break, no nothing. Here, I like this change a lot, actually. They decided to have him kind of stand there smoking from all the debris that he's walked through, and as we get this great shot of them kind of staring each other down as the mist kind of goes off of him. We don't get that in the manga. In the manga, it cuts straight to the binding cloth attack that we see here in a moment. Let me just jump ahead to it. With him pulling down the pipe right here. Now, the difference is, in this, we kind of get 3 different angles of the attack. And the manga, it's very much just one, just straight up shot of him pulling it down on him. It's a great shot there. It's a great shot here. They're both great. I just found that interesting. And then up until the Froppy throwing his teammate Dark Shroud, I think is what his name was, Dragon Shroud, at his back, and him thinking it's not actually him and stuff. Yeah. Okay, there's actually one last difference of this episode before we end. In the anime, we get sort of just an in the cage shot of all the students who are captured. Some are wrapped up and whatnot. In the manga, we actually get a scene showing them guiding a brainwashed Ibra into the cage, and she's being told to sort of drag the other two in her vine because she's under the brainwashing. It's actually a really cute panel. Kind of sad that they didn't bring that over to the anime. Again, I'm kind of wary of showing panels in these videos because I've gotten in trouble in the past, so I'm sticking to just kind of scrubbing through the footage, and you'll kind of have to either go off my word that when I'm describing, or just have the manga. I have all the manga down here. I don't know if you can see them, and just kind of read along with me. But yeah, that's one shot that was pretty much scrapped from the anime. So yeah, hope you guys find this video entertaining. Thank you for the feedback of the last video. Hopefully this time was a lot more streamlined, a little bit less boring through segments, just me saying, oh, this is 1-to-1, this is 1-to-1. So yeah, in the future, not only will I do it even smoother and smoother as we go along, but I'm just going to point out key differences, things that are noteworthy, and things that were either cut or expanded upon in the anime. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you thought down below. Do you want me to keep continuing this series? Just all that, whatever you guys think. So until next time, this has been Muddy Gazelle, hoping you all have a muddy day. See you guys.